Jai Hind everybody. I am Dr. Rashmi Sharma from Department of Information Technology of Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College. Today I would be discussing how this blockchain came into picture, and this is the course which is being for the BTech third year students, and the name of that particular subject is Blockchain Architecture and Design, that is KIT 061. So first of all, coming to the point, what all concepts would be covered in this particular video lecture would be, what are the different myths for the blockchain and how we are coming from this particular centralized databases to decentralized. So we would be first looking into one of the case studies and taking into the pros and cons of that particular case study. We would be deriving the relationship between the centralized and the decentralized, or the differentiation between, and how that blockchain uses this particular decentralized networks. Then what are the fundamental properties of the blockchain, and then that would be the last, the formal definition of the blockchain. So starting from what will be the different keywords which we would be discussing in this particular video would be cryptocurrency. Definitely each and every person who thinks or listens to this particular blockchain comes at that it is a Bitcoin or it is a cryptocurrency. No, that is an entirely different thing. How we will look into this. Then sixth is, what do we mean by blockchain? Then in this we would be taking a case study of supply chain management system of petroleum industry. So supply chain management and the word decentralization. So how it came into picture in blockchain and how it is being used in the blockchain, and now it has become a very convergent technology which is being used in this particular blockchain. So coming to the the blockchain, as according to the Google Matrix, the most searched word is, after compared to your artificial intelligence and deep learning, is the blockchain. So everybody thinks that blockchain, the application basically is the cryptocurrency, and maybe some other applications which are the interesting one, like the web crawlers and so on and so forth. But here, blockchain is not exactly the cryptocurrency. So coming, what were the different myths usually people have whenever I talk about the blockchain? They think that I'm talking about something about the cryptocurrencies, and the picture which came was along with the bitcoins. So blockchain is definitely not the Bitcoin, but we have n number of other cryptocurrencies also which is not blockchain. The blockchain concept was being used in Bitcoin, or the first cryptocurrency, in 2009 by Nakamoto in his white paper. But after looking into it, that the blockchain, the concept which this particular cryptocurrency Bitcoin is using is entirely different and is unique, and it's safe and it's private also. So we started that, we took that particular architecture out of that cryptocurrency, and that architecture which we took out is a blockchain. So cryptocurrency or the Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency, but the architecture which it uses it the blockchain. So some people think anything and everything in the world cannot be solved using the blockchain. If anyone thinks that, oh, I have this problem in my databases and I would be able to solve it through the blockchain. No, each and every problem cannot be solved by the blockchain. Definitely blockchain is good, but cannot change the society within a week, month or year. See, we have a number of applications like the KYC which we are doing into the bank, the land registry practically which we are running currently, or the supply chain management. We are having all these things which are currently smoothly running in our system in a centralized manner. So to come out from that centralized to a decentralized definitely would take a period of time, and that won't be within a week or a month or a year, because we have to change the mindset of the users also, the end users, definitely the mindsets of the developers also, and the mindset of the companies also which are providing, which want this particular blockchain or the decentralized application. So it cannot be done in a short duration of time. That is I think that would be a legacy that would be followed in near future about the blockchain or the metaverse which I'm talking about. So it want to prevent the frauds and corruption, then we can use a blockchain. No, we have a number of different things which we can use in the security aspect. We can use cryptography. We have an entire different network security aspects in computers which tells, or the cyber securities which tells about how we can secure the data on the network, how the data should be sent off so that it is very secure. So all these things, so we have better technology. We want something to be safe in a distributed manner, so, or a decentralized manner, then we go for a blockchain, but it is not a replacement for anything. Then you cannot replace a database with a blockchain. Definitely, if that was the case, we have a centralized database and we would be able to port that particular database again to a blockchain, but that is not possible because we require, as the name suggests, block in the chain, a chain of blocks which are unique, which are immutable, which has all those secure security imbibe into it, all those security, data integrity, along with that the privacy and all those things which we have in this. So it is not the replacement, simple replacement of the blockchain. Blockchain is not a distributed database. Obviously it is not distributed database. So we are having some data here, and then we are combining those particular, we have it as a decentralized. We will come to this, what is the meaning of this decentralized. So blockchain is not designed to securely store any data. That is again a myth. If we want some data to be secure, any type of data which we want to be secure, we don't use this particular. We have a number of, we can encrypt those particular data, we can save that particular data to cyber security. So taking this particular case study, and then we will come to the point how we are dealing this particular problem today or currently, and how we will deal this particular problem when the blockchain is coming into picture. So taking the use case of your supply chain, petroleum industry. This is an industry which is being governed by our central bodies. So definitely we should have some transparency and we should not have any scams being that. But we have usually heard about scam like Chara Ghotala and Petrol Ghotala, so on and so forth. So how we can remove all those particular scams while using this particular blockchain, we can look into this particular case study. So first is, you have the crude oil which is being purchased. So first stage of the supply chain is you have to purchase the crude oil. Then this crude oil has to be transported. Obviously, where we have to transport? We have to transport this so that we can have a crude storage where we will store it, and then we will refine it, and then we will sell it to the retailers. So this was the first stage, that is the crude is being purchased by any of the company. Then that crude oil is being transported, and where it is being transported, we have to first store. Obviously, we cannot have those particular tankers and directly going to our refineries. So we should have some storage areas where your data would be stored. So definitely you have this particular storage. Then we would have these refineries, that would be the fourth stage, where I have this particular data, and on these refineries we will refine this particular crude storage. So that is the fourth stage. When this particular data or the oil is being refined, then we have to distribute this. We have to give to the logistic company to distribute this particular refined oil or the refined crude oil to different distributors. So after refining, the next step would be the distribution of this particular refined oil, crude oil, and then after distribution, we have to give to the retail counters from where we can get the fuel filled or the gas filled in our cars and the vehicles. So this is the whole supply chain management. And now coming to this particular point, I have what all things which I should be taking care into. In this, I have to take care of many things. I approximately here I've started from, this is my source. I should say this is my source and this is my destination. So after this, the intermediary points are 1, 2, 3 and 4. How we can have these particular 4 handled securely, we would be looking into it. So what all things we want in this particular supply chain case study? First is we want that you should have minimization of material procurement. Whatever petroleum is being in the demand, we have to have that particular in. So minimum we should have purchase, and minimum or the maximum minimum we should purchase. We can produce the maximum or earn the profit for that particular maximum. Then maximization of manufacturing capacity and sales. So we should have maximum capacity to manufacture. If I'm able to manufacture 1000 gallons or produce that, store that particular 1000 gallon, then I would be able to purchase the 1000 gallons. But beyond that, if I am having that 1000 gallons in my storage, I won't go for purchasing more 500 gallons so that it would add and I don't have a storage for it. So definitely you should look into the maximization of your manufacturing capacity and the sales. We should be able to meet the market demands. So we should keep an inventory track, how much we are purchasing, how much we are selling, and keeping that particular inventory so that we can meet the demand. If anybody is coming for our distribution that I want 100 of gallons, and if I don't have it, then I have to again purchase the crude oil, then send it to the distributor, and the whole line or the full intermediate life till the refining, I think till 3 I have to use it, then distribute it and send it to the retailers. So I have to see that how much time I require for this particular cycle, and if the demand is coming today, I have to fulfill that particular demand also. Then respond quickly to the market opportunities. If the opportunity is coming, if one of my competitor does not have that much of storage, and somebody is coming to me leaving that particular vendor, then I have to have that particular in my surplus amount in my storage, so that I would be able to provide it. Definitely, objective of each production unit should be to maximize the throughput and the margin. Obviously, if I have an demand for 1000, so my storage should not always be of the 1000, but I should have for the 1100 or 1200, so that I can keep a track of all those things. Then procurement would purchase the feedstock, not the best deal. So we should have purchased the stock with the lowest cost. Then need strong coordination among the players. Obviously, the players here would be all those other players which require a strong coordination. If I am purchasing the storage and I require it to send it to, so they should be able to send immediately to the refining, so that I can again, after refining, it would take 2 or 3 days for refining, then I would distribute it and sell it to the retailers. I don't have any losses in this particular thing. So these are some of the things. So practically what we require, we need to require strong coordination among the players. So how can we obtain this real-time information from all these stakeholders, which I have written the 4 stages which I have in between, all these 4 stages. So if I want this particular values, so how can I get this particular real-time information? Definitely the solution which we have today is through a web portal. The person who is taking the transportation of 1000 gallons, he should tell that I am taking from here the amount of 1000 gallons which is being transported, then to the crude storage I have sent that 1000 gallon. This is telling that I have a storage of 20 gallons and I am sending your 1000 gallons to the refinery, and you can take it from there, and I would be able to give it. So all this information we would be available to take on from the web portal. This is the web portal where I can say we are doing nowadays like the centralized database which is working. But definitely there is a drawback for this. What is the guarantee that the information which is being submitted is correct? If the distributor is telling that I am only able to collect the 100 gallons from the refineries, not more than that, but the retailer requires 500 gallons, so there is a lack of 400 gallons, and maybe the distributor is telling something different and the refinery is telling us something different. So who would guarantee that the information which is being sent is correct? What if someone denies that the information which is given at particular point of time, and in the later time, like today I am telling that yes, I have on phone call, I received a call and I told that yes, I have sent the 100 gallons, and day after tomorrow I refuse that, oh, I told you this, no, it was only 80 gallons, not 100 gallons. So if somebody denies from the information because that is not handwritten, it was only a vocal one or a verbal one, and the person is denying from that particular information later on. So what would be the if somebody does that particular thing? So definitely we need a decentralized solution because we cannot trust on each other, but we require a cooperation of each other. Definitely, if somebody is there in the marketplace, if I come back to this particular slide, they all are doing business. All these particular four parts are doing business. Even the transportation, the storage, the refineries and the distributor, all in remaining two parties, they are also doing business only. So why should I rely on them? Maybe if I have ordered them and at the same time my competitor has told that if I pay you 10 rupees more per gallon and you give that particular 100 gallons to me, definitely if they don't have their consciousness into mind, they would tell, okay, I'm sending you, and they won't be sending me. So they would be denying or betraying me at any point of time. So that betrayal can be there. So we should not trust each other. But obviously, each and every time if I don't trust him, then I won't be able to do business with him. We have to cooperate with each other. So the definition of blockchain tells that definitely we should have a decentralized solution because no one trusts each other, but they should cooperate with each other. Without the cooperation, we won't be able to run our business, or we won't be able to run the organization smoothly. So definitely the solution is blockchain. How? Okay, so coming to how, see, if all these parties were into picture, I have a blackboard here. In this blackboard, if I write something, that is visible to all. Those who are viewing this video, they have this particular data in sync with me, what I am writing on my blackboard. So similarly, all these 6 parties have a common blackboard. So on that common blackboard, see the first statement which was written by the crude oil, that 120 barrel was produced on December 26th, 2020, and it was produced in Navi Mumbai High. Okay, so this information is not only in the inventory of the crude this crude purchaser, but that is in the inventory. They are updating that information, but others have view only information. They have only view rights, that is the crude transportation, the crude storage, the refining, the distribution and the retailer. They all have, maybe there can be multiple parties. I have the distribution as D1, D2 and D15. There are 15 distributors. All these 15 distributors have access to the view only that this much were produced. Okay, so if I have those particular distributor into the picture, that they would be having this information. This transport company would write that 16,000, approx 16,500 barrel transported from Mumbai High to HPCL refinery, that is from this cold storage, it is being sent to this refinery on December 26th only, and they have specifically mentioned the time also. In previous it was not mentioned the time. So there can be information, somebody might write more information, some can write a less information, but this information, again, about this information, the second one, does this affect something to the crude, does this affect something to the crude one? No. It doesn't affect to the crude producers. Why? Because once they have produced, who is taking it, who is transporting, for them, everybody, they have sold that particular amount which they produce. So for them it doesn't matter, but they should know who is purchasing and who is complaining back to them that this oil was good or not. So this information is there on a blackboard. Assume that I have an ample amount of data which is there on this blackboard. When I have a limited space of this whiteboard as this one, and if this whole blackboard or the whiteboard is being filled, then to write more information, what we usually do it on this, we erase the information and then we write it. Definitely that is the case. So while erasing, in the copies, do we erase? No. In copies we don't erase. But if I am telling you that this is a blackboard, so definitely this information will come to your mind. That's for in blackboard, if the blackboard or the whiteboard is full, then the ma'am has to rub all this particular information and then she has to write use the same. So this particular blackboard doesn't have a limitation for this. That is, the blackboard has infinite space. So we do not need to erase anything. I don't need to. If to write something, the third item, I don't have to erase that 1200 barrels, 1200,000 barrels were sent to me, which were produced on 26 December. I don't have to erase. So we have infinite space, so we don't need to erase it. That is the first thing which we require for decentralization. We should have unlimited or infinite space on each and every databases or each and every blackboards or whiteboards which I am using it. Secondly, now everyone should be able to see the logs and verify that if he is telling that it has been transported, means definitely it has to reach to the storage and then to the refineries. And if refineries have not received that much, they can deny that I have. If they receive, then they would definitely write a line or again a record here that I have received these so much barrels for refining on such and such date. So we can see the difference. See, they have produced this much, but they have transported this much, so they are still left with some amount. If I have 100 rupees and I've spent 28, or if I've spent 30, I'm still left with 70. So 70 should be my balance. I cannot deny that particular 70 balance. So this is the case. I have produced this much, I have transported this much, I cannot deny on the remainder amount, and that amount is also fixed and that is visible to all. So in everyone here in this who are participating, all the players who are participating into this blockchain can be able to verify it. Then comes any change in the information is visible. If by chance this transportation company changes that this 16,467, except this they are writing it as a 15,467, only one digit is being changed, but 1,000 barrel has been changed. So for this 1,000 barrel, if they try to overwrite this information or they have tried to erase this information, this particular person would deny I have told 16,000, and obviously when they are doing this particular changes, it would be visible to all, even though this transport, this storage, this refinery and distribution, they have none to do it, because he might want to sell that particular $1,000 in black money, or have to do something fishy with that particular $1,000. So sorry, 1,000 barrels of petrol. So that is the thing, it would be visible to all, and so it would be verifiable to all. If any changes is being done, then it would be visible to all. So first thing, infinite space. Second thing, it can be, see, second, it is, everyone has this particular log and they can verify it. That was the thing. Previously it was infinite space and we don't have to erase. So first property is infinite space. Second is everyone has the log and they can verify. Then next is if any information is changed, updation, then everyone would be visible. Next is the blackboard is not erasable, so no one can deny anything. So denial, usually in networking we have an attack which is called as denial attack. Yeah, denial of services, I can also tell that is in networking. So denial attack is basically somebody has given me 1,000 rupees and I deny, no, he has not given me 1,000, he has given me only 900, and that person doesn't have anybody as a proof who would tell that he has given Rashmi 1,000 rupees. So that is a denial form, and I am having that because I am telling that he has given me only 900 rupees and but actually he has given me 1,000 rupees, that 100 rupees in surplus. So you cannot deny on what the information which is there, because whatever if you erase would be visible to everyone, and that has to be verifiable by all. So we cannot erase anything, and so no one can deny that particular information which is once written. If there is something wrong, then we have to again send an information that by chance, by mistake, I have written this. Okay, so that would again get in one more entry in this particular blackboard. So simple one-step editing, that is, you have written this. If I want some changes, maybe for assume that I have by mistake and I have written 26 December, but it was 27 December. So I have to again write and record, which will tell in the record 2, the 26 December 2020 has to be replaced by 27 December 2020. So again, that would be visible to all, that would be verifiable to all, and whatever changes, because we won't be able to update this particular information, no updation is possible. So no updation means no erasable is possible here. And if you do it, that would be visible to all. So simply one step auditing is there, which everyone. Now it comes, who would maintain this particular, because I want such type of thing for each and every players which are working into, but who would take care of all these things, where we can have such type of bulletin boards? Definitely we have to buy clouds from Amazon. I think everybody might have heard about AWS services. So I usually want some clouds. Again, if I'm taking the cloud into picture, some sort of centralization is coming into picture. But definitely to become a decentralized, some centralization has to be used. So where we would keep this particular blackboard, because we want that to be a specific place where everyone can locate. We should have infinite space. Everyone should locate. It should be verifiable to all. It cannot be erased. And it should have a simple step auditing. So all these things would be required where we could keep a data at a central location. Okay, but when we are keeping this at a central location, and if this crude purchaser requires the data, it has to send a request to this AWS cloud machine, and then that machine would send a request again, response back. So that is again a centralized work which we are having here. So we are not going to a decentralized one. So how we will go? Because I want that this should be centralized. Who will manage it and who will provide the cost? Definitely, if you are having that particular thing on the cloud, who would manage all those particular information? Who would take care that if I'm sending this particular message, or if I'm sending this practically this particular gallons of or barrels of petroleum, then who would take care that it is being registered into that particular AWS? Somebody has to take care, and who would bear that particular cost also? So definitely one of the enterprise maintains that particular data on the private cloud, and when it is maintained on the private cloud, again it is not decentralized. So here, what is the guarantee that it is not a fraud? Obviously, when it is having on a private cloud, a specific company is holding it, definitely everyone has to see who can make that particular fraud or not. On his PC, or maybe he can purchase some space on the cloud, the same copy has to be kept on this. So if he has a copy 1, he would also have a copy 1. The crude storage would also have a copy 1. The refining also would have a copy 1. The distributor would also have a copy 1, and the retailer would also have a copy 1. Each and every person should have the same copy, and same copy with them, not at a central location, not at the specific cloud where somebody is maintaining it. On their private cloud, definitely that person would have more rights and they can update that particular information. Okay, so we should, what would be the guarantee? Let everyone maintain the same copy on the board. So this board, one has to be replicated here, one here, in all 6 boards. I don't require this board here, but 6 individual boards, they should have each and every transactions which is there on this central board, each and every transactions, and they should be, this board should be having an individual and independent copy. As I told, each individual, the crude has one, the transport has one, the storage has one, the refining has one, each one has their individual copy, independent and individual copies. But they should all be in sync. How they should be in sync, we will look into this. So we have to maintain, we are not keeping anything in the central place. But this same blackboard they all are having, they all have that infinite space, they all have this transaction, should be seen to everyone, should be verifiable by all. If anybody is updating that information, it should be seen by everyone, but they have to maintain that not at a common place, but at their own PCs or at their own offices or their own organizations. Maybe they can purchase a cloud for themselves, not for a common place. Okay, so in that we have these, this is the how it is being maintained. Each and every player has a individual copy, the same, see, only three records. This is practically a default nomenclature which is being recorded to show this decentralization. These are called as the nodes, and these are called as the distributed ledgers. Ledgers means the file where we can keep all the transactions which are being done, each and every transaction. So no one is the sole owner of the data. That is the basic thing which we want in decentralization. When previously we were discussing this, that who will do it, a private an enterprise with a private cloud. Definitely that enterprise would have more rights and they can update the data, which I don't want. That anybody should have the more rights and they can do anything, or they can do any fishy thing with my data which is being there on that particular cloud. So we don't want any of the sole owners to be there. Each and every person should have their own copy, and everyone has a copy of the data. There is no central database. This is the formal definition of decentralization. Each and every individual, each and every node in this particular network, it is not necessary that all these nodes should be completely connected. I think everyone knows the difference between connected and the completely connected. Means the distance between this node and this node has only one link. That means they are completely connected. They can, obviously all these nodes are not physically connected. They have a virtual connection between them through the IP addresses. So there should not be a physical link. Nowadays we have a Wi-Fi connection, we don't have a physical connection. So obviously everyone understand that what is the virtual connection here. So they should have a virtual connections. Each and every node, the blue dots which is shown in this figure, should have the same copy. They should own their own copy. There should not be only sole owner, and definitely everyone has a copy of their own, and no central database exists. So we have moved from this centralized, see here we were having a centralized blackboard, and now from this centralized blackboard I have taken you to this decentralized, where each and every blue color nodes have an orange color out there themselves distributed ledgers. And so blockchain is also called as distributed ledger technology. That is decentralized ledger technology. Okay, so that is also, so we have all these particular records. Everyone holds the exact same copy of the instances. The main thing is all these records are immutable and they are append only. Whenever we cannot update, we have to append. In the last I have told that if you have changes from 26 December to 27 December, again I have to send and record, and that record would be make entry in here also. So data once added cannot be deleted or cannot be modified. We cannot update any information. We cannot delete, we cannot modify. So no central database. Everyone keeps a copy and the proper process of that particular data. So the new information is added to the chains in the form of new blocks. So the new block when added, if one block is added, it would be added to each and every one to keep a sync. Okay, so each and every place a block would be added. Blockchain ensures every party has the same view. So as I told you, if one block is being added, it would be added to all the nodes, not only a single node, because it won't be in sync with other databases. So every party has the same view of the blockchain. The information is transparent to everyone, so everyone can verify and validate. So formal definition of blockchain comes of the decentralized, immutable, append only public ledger. Decentralized, we think, immutable as we know, cannot change. As I told, we cannot change. Append only, we cannot delete. We cannot update. No updation, no deletion. No updation, no deletion possible. Only we can append. Okay. So here, this is the centralized, decentralized and the distributed difference. In the centralized, we have one node which can act as a point of failure. In distributed, we have different nodes. If this node gets, we are divided into two portions. In the decentralized one, we are connected with each other. See, this node is not directly connected to this node, but they can by some of the link, they can go and reach there. So in distributed format, we don't have a direct connection, but collectively everyone execute the same job at the same point of time. So concluding this particular video, what all things we have covered? We have a network of different players. Those are your businesses, your enterprises, your commercial establishments, what are different things, the government, the private bodies, or even your individuals. So we have to identify what are the strong players in your in this particular network. After identifying all these particular players, we should have everyone have their own interest. They all want to fulfill their goals. They all are there into it to earn profit. So we don't have to trust. They want to maximize their profit. Maybe they might be harming somebody else. So they have to minimize their losses and maximizes their profit. So we do not have to trust each other, but we have to cooperate with each other so that our society gets benefited by it. So definitely we don't trust each other, but we cooperate with each other so that society gets benefited. As in the end we have discussed, the decentralized, trustless, the word you have to keep into mind, trustless, because we are not trusting each other. Trustless decentralization is equal to blockchain. We don't trust, but we cooperate with each other. We have the same copy and we are keeping that particular on a distributed ledger technology, that is called as the DLT. So DLT is distributed ledger technology. So we got a broad idea of the blockchain and the possible case study. For now, we have discussed of the supply chain management. In the coming videos, we would be discussing more on. So this blockchain has converted to distributed ledger technology, which has to be, or decentralized ledger technology, which has to be on each and every node, as we have seen in this particular slide. Okay. So these are the references from which I have taken all these particular ideas. That is the blockchain basics, a non-technical introduction in 25 steps. This is a very good book. You can read this book. And another, something about the cryptography and the network security from the Pearsons, that is William Sterling. Thank you for this video.